going on, everyone? Welcome back to Valley Sports Podcast. We're live today, answering your fantasy football questions, and it's week 13 already. Thanksgiving has passed us all the way on the horizon. Already done. I can't believe it. We're already on week 13. Thanksgiving is gone. I just remember us watching preseason, excited for Jackson Dart, and already we're 13 weeks into his rookie season. It's crazy to me. So, some spiraling developments happened last night. Last night was Timmy's birthday, and if you're just joining us today, come ask your fantasy football questions. I'll be answering all the questions today. Had a little bit of camera difficulties before I jumped on here, but last night was Timmy's birthday, and all the guys were out, hanging out, stuff like that, drinking, and our most watched episode was when our good friend Sean came on, and now for the next 3 weeks, we will have 3 special guests from our friend group coming on starting next week. So episodes 18, 19, and 20, and most likely 21 will all be special guest episodes as we roll through the final weeks of the NFL season. So stay tuned. It's going to be a very fun time in the life of being a Valley Sports Pod fan. So let me just fix my headset real quick because it's being very annoying. But if you're joining us today, we're going to recap a little bit of the Thanksgiving game, preview week 13. Today is the second to last week of the fantasy football season in most normal leagues. And come ask your star sits. We'll be here. I'll be here till 1 o'clock. Then I got to go up, watch the games. But we'll be here all morning, hanging out, talking sports. And we're going to jump in and recap the Lions and the Packers, a game that surprised me because the Packers were on fraud watch going into last week. And Matt LaFleur finally grew a pair of balls. He just took his metaphorically grown balls and flopped them on the table of Dan Campbell and completely just shut everyone up. 4th and 3 with the game on the line, and they went for it to not give the ball back to the Browns. Balls of steel. Great play right to Dontavius Wicks, of all people. Took over with 2 touchdowns. Everyone took that bet, let me tell you. Dontavius Wicks. Yeah, great play right there. Hold on 1 second. All right, that's better. A little staticky back there. So, but yeah, as I was saying, Matt LaFleur has been throughout the years a very conservative and shitty coach, I think. I think Aaron Rodgers saved Matt LaFleur throughout the years because if you go back to the 2020 NFC Championship game when they were down 4, instead of just going for it, they were down 7. Instead of just going for it, he kicks the field goal to give the ball back to Tom Brady, of all people. And Tom Brady just put it in their throats and ended the game. And I think that was their one chance to go to the Super Bowl and win it because that was Aaron Rodgers, one of his best years. And I'm sorry if my voice is a little shot. I'm a little hungover from last night. We had a little fun. Again, Timmy's birthday was last night. Timmy, as usual, can't handle his alcohol, but he still had fun. And the one big scare for the Packers Lions is that Amon-Ra St. Brown went down with a horrific looking injury. But the good news is that he should only be gone for at most 2 weeks. So he should be back for the fantasy playoffs. At worst, maybe misses the first round. So if you had him, maybe you have a bye. You can live without him. Like me, in 2 of my leagues where I have 10 or more wins, I have him, and I'm going to have the bye. So I'm sweating a little bit, but nothing crazy because I really need him this year. I was hoping to make a nice championship push with St. Brown in those 2 leagues, but that injury really scared the shit out of me because I woke up late and I was driving as the game was going on, and I got a notification about it, and it was freaking out the whole drive because I'm like, what could have happened if everyone's going crazy? Because God forbid if it was a non-contact injury, this guy was cooked. But yeah, St. Brown should be back for the fantasy playoffs. And the Detroit Lions lose, and all of a sudden, with the snap of the fingers, the Detroit Lions are in 3rd place. in the NFC North. The Bears are in first place, but we'll get to them. We'll get to the Bears in a little bit. But Amon-Ra St. Brown should be back. Jameson Williams will be a league winner if St. Brown does not come back. Clearly, because I think from day one, even though I'm a big St. Brown fan, I think J-Mo was always the better receiver. J-Mo coming out of college was a stud at Bama. Just a speed freak. And he's got the catchability. He's got the route running ability. He's very good. But before we get to the Bears, I just need to talk about Mahomes is nowhere near Tom Brady all time. I don't care what anyone says. Patrick Mahomes is not in the same breath as Tom Brady. Pat Mahomes isn't even in top 5 talks yet, let alone in your prime, you're on the verge of missing the playoffs. This game is what GOATs do, is go into Dallas on Thanksgiving and win this game. I don't care if he played well and this and that. You take over the game and win. That's it. If you're this great all-time quarterback and you don't need the referees to win, you take over the game and win. And you had no excuse losing this game. So, Mahomes, you are nowhere near Brady. You will never sniff Brady's presence. And I'm not even like a Tom Brady fan, or I'm a Patriots fan or a Bucks fan. I'm a Giants fan. And Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback in history, greatest player in history. And Pat Mahomes will never sniff him because, number one, he lost to Tom Brady in the AFC Championship, and then he lost to him again in the Super Bowl. So there's 2 blemishes. It's like comparing LeBron and Jordan, but LeBron lost to Jordan in like the 2005 finals because Jordan still played while he was in his 40s. It's not close. It's not close. Okay? I don't care how great of a start to his career Mahomes had. Brady had an insane start. And even though he went 10 years in between his Super Bowls, he still finished with 7, number 1. Number 2, he's won so many MVPs. Number 3, he has all the records. And number 4, people act like it's so freaking damn easy to win the Super Bowl when you got guys like Drew Brees with 1. Peyton Manning only has 2. One of the greatest quarterbacks ever, my favorite quarterback of all time. Like guys like Phillip Rivers doesn't even have 1. Matt Ryan couldn't get 1. He was so close. Ben Roethlisberger has 2. Like, it's not this easy feat like everyone thinks, like in the NBA. Oh, he has 7 Super Bowls. He took him 10 years to get another one. Yeah, because winning 3 Super Bowls in your first 7 season is not normal. It's not a normal thing. Once again, if you're joining us, ask your fantasy questions. I'm going to be here till 1 o'clock, talking sports, recapping the Thanksgiving games and the Black Friday games, and previewing today's games. And most likely going to be doing my DraftKings lineup. I have a big money DraftKings league, and I got to do that lineup. So I'm hoping to jump into the top 3. I had a slow start, but I'm starting to bounce back. Thank you these last few weeks. But George Pickens is elite. Again, I feel like a broken record every week. The Pittsburgh Steelers fans have got to be sick to their stomachs. Like, giving up this guy for a bag of donuts, and he is just absolutely dominating. You knew. The second he got to Dallas, this guy was going to be an absolute stud. I took him in every single league except my one league where I'm pushing for a championship. And, of course, I took freaking Calvin Ridley just to change it up because I thought maybe he'd be good. But that was the stupidest decision in my life. Like, if I had George Pickens in that league, it'd be freaking a wash. But he is an absolute stud. Putting him next to CeeDee Lamb is just not even fair. It's just not even fair. They're 2 elite receivers, and Pickens is one of the 7 guys that you say that's an alpha receiver. This guy is just out of his mind. Just week in and week out this year, he is just feasting on every matchup. CeeDee Lamb went down, and it just felt like he didn't even leave because that's how good Pickens has been. Just if you got him in the 5th round and Dak in the later rounds, your team is insane because you can't ask for a better value. You're getting a wide receiver 1 in the 5th round and a quarterback that is playing like a quarterback like I drafted in like the 7th round in like the later teen rounds. But Dallas is making a playoff push, and a lot of people don't seem to like it. But as a anti-Cowboys fan, Giants fan over here, it doesn't mean anything to me. We all know what's going to happen when they make the playoffs. Why should this year be any different? They're going to make the divisional round or the wild card and just lose and choke. Why should I be scared this year? I don't care about we them boys or any of that bullshit. It's the same thing every single year. It's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting things to change. You think just because this year they have George Pickens and Quentin Williams, all of a sudden things are different? I don't buy it. if they see the Packers or like the Bears, or Seattle or the Rams, you think they're going to beat them? Absolutely not. Michael Wilson or Woody Marks in the flex? Michael Wilson, come on. As long as Jacoby Briskets is throwing that ball, I'll start everyone on that team, except the running back, obviously, because they don't know what they're doing. But because, I mean, we don't even know what Marvin Harrison's doing today. He's coming back off his little appendix burst. Could be a little slow. Michael Wilson's got back-to-back 100-yard games. It's so easy. So easy. Just set and forget Michael Wilson. End of story. But it's clear the night game was the Ravens and the Bengals, and Lamar is clearly still hurt, playing through an injury. They won 5 straight, and then the other night, just when you thought they slammed the door shut of the AFC North, they kicked it right back open, the Ravens. Lamar looks slow. He looks hurt. The hamstring is 100% not healed. Plays where he would was rolling out against the Bengals defense, could not get to the outside and outrun their defensive lineman. Clearly is something wrong with Lamar. He's hurting a little bit, and it's not ideal, because I feel like it's a disaster waiting to happen, because it feels like every time someone rushes back, something horrific happens, and we don't want to see that. As much as I clown on Lamar and make fun of him for being a playoff choker, I still like watching him. I love watching him. He's a great player, but we don't want to see something like that happen to a great player. We don't want to see an all-time great like Lamar go down with a worse injury just because he's forcing himself back in. Like, more power to you, man. I'm a one for anti-load management and stuff like that, but what's the saying? Health is wealth. I don't know. Maybe sometimes it's not worth it. But the one big thing from that game is I think John Harbaugh is on the hot seat. If you had to give me the 5 biggest coaches on the hot seat that are like actual, I wouldn't say 5. There's not that many, but the two biggest coaches that are in playoff contention on the hot seat, and that would be Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh. Can we talk about, I don't know how Steelers fans feel about it. Like, if there are any Steelers fans ever watching this, I need them to comment. What is your opinion on Mike Tomlin? Okay with mediocrity every single year, and you're going to be like, oh well, George, mediocrity is not winning 9 games and making the playoff. I'd say the definition of mediocrity is doing the same mid thing every single year, and at this point, making the playoffs and not winning is mid. So are you Steeler fans okay with the same mediocrity every single year? I don't think so. And if there are any Steeler fans that actually believe in Mike Tomlin, I really need you to come out and let me know, because it's clear that something's got to change. It's obvious he's had talent all these years, okay? And if you're just joining us, I'm talking about the mid of Mike Tomlin. I think he's the most overrated coach ever. Like, he inherited a team from Bill Cowher in 2008, won the Super Bowl. Great, good for him. I'm never going to fault the coach for winning the Super Bowl. But if you don't do anything since, then maybe you shouldn't have a job for this long. Then 2010 makes the Super Bowl again. Lo and behold, a couple fumbles here and there, a bad pass to Santonio Holmes on 4th down, bada bing, Packers win the Super Bowl. All right, you've been to 2 Super Bowls in your first 5 years of head coach. Okay, what have you done since? What's the term? What have you done for me lately? 15 years have gone by and you've won maybe 5 playoff games at the most, while making the playoffs almost every single year. I feel like that shouldn't warrant you being kept. You know who he reminds me of? A certain other coach that a New York team I root for should be getting rid of. But obviously Mike Tomlin is nowhere near as bad as Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone is an idiot and shouldn't ever have his job, and he's a puppet. Mike Tomlin actually is a solid coach, but I just think he needs a new scenery. I feel like Pittsburgh has gotten a little incompetent over the years. God, I'm just losing my voice right now. But if you're just joining us right now, I'm talking about Mike Tomlin. He is overrated. You know what? I'll throw up the banner for anyone that's up. Yes, so I think Mike Tomlin is not as good as everyone thinks he is. And if I were a Pittsburgh fan, I'd want him out. I don't know. Steelers fans, come in the comments. Let me know. Are you actually a fan of Mike Tomlin? I'm curious what actual Steelers fans think, because I feel like he is kind of like the Aaron Boone of the NFL. I mean, he's nowhere near as idiotic or incompetent, because Aaron Boone is the definition of a Muppet. He's controlled up his asshole from Brian Cashman to be told what to do, but he's not as great as everyone thinks he is. And now we're going through a time where the Steelers throughout the 2000s and the 2010s were very competent at drafting. And it seems like now they've hit a rut where they can't find talent as well as they were able to. And they trade away and get rid of talent. Like, look at George Pickens. They gave him away for a bag of Krispy Kreme donuts. Like, they got the owner sitting in the press box eating the donuts they got from the Cowboys still. And look at how great he's been. I feel like their judge of talent has really gone downhill. They took Kenny Pickett in the first round, which was, I don't know. He had decent numbers, but he never really impressed me enough to waste a top 20 pick on. I feel like his slide really jumped his draft stock. But in a sloppy game, Chase still somehow gets 19. He was targeted like 15 times. I was scared he was going to get 40, but thankfully I didn't play him in any leagues. And the reason today I'm rocking my Jamar Chase jersey as I hit my mic, he is on the team I took for my Pepper picks. This week I went 1-0 starting on Thursday, and just like that, I'm right back in the race for my Pepper picks against Timmy. We are in the final stretch of the Pepper picks. We are, nay, I say, in the witching hour of the Pepper picks. We're 4 weeks away from someone eating the Carolina Reaper. Now, I was thinking to myself, when should we do it? It's either maybe we could do a live stream right after the Super Bowl of one of us eating the pepper, but I don't know. Maybe we could do it during a playoff game or make it interesting. Maybe watch a playoff game while one of us eats the pepper. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe someone will comment down below and let us know what should we do during the Pepper picks. So as of today, I have Seattle minus 10.5, and Timmy has, I don't know if the Jaguars spread has changed, but he got it at 4.5, I believe it was. Jaguars 4.5 against the Titans. And if I win again and he loses again, all of a sudden we're tied again. And he's in big trouble, because if you remember, if you watched that Halloween episode of Timmy eating that habanero, that man was crying from a habanero. And I don't know. What's going on, Hayden? Welcome. Bucky or Neal. Bucky might be snap count. Indiana Jones to Darnold. You can't start Jones. I don't know if you saw that practice. He looks, oh my God. He looked like Joe Biden out there taking snaps. That is a scary sight. He's got a fractured fibula. And that's, for those of you who don't know, that's this bone right here, brother. Like right in this leg. You kind of need that. And Jones's big thing is that he's able to run. Just start Darnold. I mean, that game can get ugly, but just got to hope that maybe Minnesota can keep it decently close. I feel like JSN is unguardable, and he's going to help Darnold get points so easily with Darnold. And between Bucky and Devin Neal, I don't know. Yeah, the problem is they have two other running backs they trust very well. So if they're easing Bucky in, I wouldn't risk it. I like Devin Neal because, again, now he's the only guy there, and it seems like they trust him out of the backfield. So I feel like he can easily get you double-digit points in a game that could get, honestly, low-key could be a shootout. Low-key could be a shootout because it's just two shit teams with nothing to lose. So I like Devin Neal over Bucky. Going forward, obviously you got to start Bucky Irving, but since it's his first game back off of a mysterious injury, we didn't even know like what was really wrong with him. They were in the dark about Bucky Irving, but definitely Neal and Darnold. I can't start Jones. Like, that leg just does not look like it was it for me. Got Neal for a steal. I'm starting him. Yeah. He's a good throw-in today. Like I mentioned this on the live last week. If Kamara misses time, he is a very solid running back to throw in. They like him a lot. He's a pass catcher. And on a shit team, those running backs that can catch passes are so valuable because they have nothing to lose. And a guy, especially a rookie like Tyler Shuck, who looks lost out there, If he's got a guy dripping out in the backfield just to gain some yards, he'll dump it off to him every single time. Like, you want those points. Is Marvin Harrison still uncertain if he's playing today? I'm not sure. I mean, for all we know, it's going to be the Michael Wilson show again, because who knows if his appendix is ready. I mean, all I know is I know someone whose appendix burst, and he was out for like a month at work. I don't know how you're going to play football after 2 weeks. You tell me. But so I'm done with these Thanksgiving games. Why don't we jump into my topic of the day? Eagles fan, I need you to sit here and listen to me. All right. If there are any Eagles fans watching this, you have to understand Kevin Patullo isn't the problem. Your actual problem is your coach and your quarterback. Okay. Jalen Hurts is not as good as everyone thinks he is. He is. I had him as maybe the 11th or 12th best quarterback in the league, but you guys are going out there acting like he's this top 5 guy, and he's 1-4 all time when he has to throw 30 passes or more. All right. It's clearly obvious that he is not as good as everyone thinks he is. Or actually, he is as good as everyone thinks he is, because the only people that think he's in the top 5 are Eagles fans who are delusional. Listen, I'll acknowledge this all the time. He's the greatest fantasy quarterback ever because of the tush push. If they ever get rid of that play, he's utterly useless in fantasy, I'm talking about. But he can win in the playoffs, yes. But again, it's when he has a stacked team. I saw a tweet the other day, the most perfect iteration. Someone goes, oh, I mean, Jalen Hurts has Super Bowl MVP. And then someone commented, well, I mean, Andre Iguodala won the finals MVP. Doesn't mean he was the best player on the team. And that is the most perfect comparison. In NBA terms, he's kind of like Andre Iguodala. Like, he's a great player, but is he ever in the MVP talks or one of the greatest of all time? It's not even close. And he is the Andre Iguodala of the 2016 Warriors. It's honestly hilarious, but it's true. He's not. If you went down the list of last year's team of all the top players, is Jalen Hurts in the top 4? I don't think so. If you go down the list, if Barkley's number 1, if Jalen Carter is number 2, I'd even put Quinyon Mitchell at number 3 because of how great he is. And are we going to put we're going to have to put Lane Johnson up there? And then who's 5? Are we going to put Hurts or AJ Brown? I think AJ Brown is a better player than Jalen Hurts. So AJ Brown was putting up 1,400 yards with Ryan Tannehill, so we know what he is. Anytime touchdown parlay: Neil Pitts, Jacoby Myers, Jaden Higgins. Stroud, that's a great point. Honestly, as a player, I think I like Stroud as a player. It's just his offensive line fails him. And people will call me crazy, but again, we haven't seen Jalen Hurts with a bad team. So we have to see him in a situation where like all hell's broken loose, like he's lost all of his guys and him willing them to win. Like, put him in Justin Herbert's shoes for like half his career, and you think that he ever sniffs the playoffs? I don't think so. But anytime touchdown parlay: Neil Pitts, Jacoby Myers, and Jaden Higgins. I don't like Kyle Pitts, but what's Kyle Pitts' odds? Let me know what those odds are. Make sure if you're asking any questions to subscribe before you comment. Help us out. We just hit 100. Thank you, everyone, for helping us hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. We love all the fandom. We're at 533 followers on TikTok already. Thank you, everyone. We're hoping to hit 1,000 by next football season. We're hoping to hit 500 subs by next football season. We got a long way to go, but we're all so excited. Thank you all for the support. Pitts is plus 280 for a reason, because he stinks. I ranted last stream that Kyle Pitts is one of the biggest busts in NFL history. And while he has had one good rookie season, he's been very, very, not even meh. He's been worse than meh. What's worse than meh? He's not trash, but he's not mid. So he's like, I guess, below average, I want to say. And they took him 4th overall in the draft. That 5 through 11, if I know people are going to be like, oh, George, who cares? Well, we all knew the Falcons needed a pass rush, so they passed on Micah Parsons. There's one. They needed another cornerback. They passed on Surtain and J.C. Horn. They needed a wide receiver. They passed on Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle. And they needed a left tackle, and they passed on Rashawn Slater and Penei Sewell. So, like, I don't know. I don't know. One of the worst picks of the 2010s, past 2010, easily. I think the only person so I have an idea that we're going to start doing. I'm going to start doing top fives. And I think our first ever top 5 video is going to be our top 5 biggest NFL draft busts of the 2010s. And I think Kyle Pitts will be probably 3rd or 4th on that list. So stay tuned for that video. Quick side note, heading to Isles Caps. You're going there today? Score prediction? I mean, since you're there, it's going to be a 6-1 Capitals. Are they home? Honestly, I might as well just have ESPN up. But the Giants are playing on Monday Night Football, so hopefully they can make me want to watch. But I want to say one thing. Caleb Williams is not as good as his record shows. I'm sorry. The Bears are very well coached. Their offensive line is elite. And their defense while isn't elite, creates so much turnovers that it just makes up for it. And I don't know, Ben Johnson has really changed their culture, but I don't know what it is about Caleb. I just don't know. He's not very accurate, and he seems he's the perfect comparison of what I compared him to at before, right after week 1. He's literally Russell Westbrook, and it's just if you're not someone who's ever watched Russell Westbrook, then you can't understand this comparison. But it's just like he does such weird shit it seems like on purpose for them to be back in the game, and it's just so weird. Like, I feel like if Drake May was if they took Drake May instead, or like Daniels, I don't know. I just feel like they would be such a powerhouse, but I'm not scared of this team at all. Like, you think Green Bay is scared of this team? Absolutely not. You think Detroit is scared of this team? Well, Detroit is in a rut. Detroit put 50 up on them. 50. Like, without a blink. You think the Rams are scared of the Bears? The Rams aren't even scared of the Eagles, and they lost to them. The Rams should be scared of the Eagles because they keep losing them, but they're not scared of them. I don't believe in the Bears at all. And it's all because of Caleb. I just don't think Caleb is as good as people think he is. But the one thing that came out of that game is A.J. Brown is happy, and we got someone in the comments, Sean, who has him in fantasy. A.J. Brown is very happy. Very, very happy. He had his 10 catches, and they lost. But you know what? As long as he's got his 10 catches, he's going to be happy. Sean Caps better push through. I got Logan Thompson in fantasy. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed they do win when Sean goes to the game. So, but we definitely, Sean, if you're listening right now, we're probably going to Knights Islanders. So if you want to go to that game just to make fun of the Knights with me and Ant, and Brian invited us, it's gonna be a fun time. So, and also, if now that you're in the stream now, I mentioned this earlier, for the next 3 weeks, we're going to have special guests starting next week. For the next 3 weeks, all from our fantasy football couples therapy group chat, all on our show, ValleySportsPod episodes 18, 19, and 20 will all have special guests, and it's going to be a fun time. We're excited. We're hyped. Last time we had a special guest, it was our most watched episode. Sean came on. We ranted about the Yankees. We did our score predictions. It was a great time. And next week, we're going to have a new special guest, and then we're going to have more special guests for all of December, pretty much. The entire month of December is going to be a special guest month. It's going to be a great time. But yeah, as I was saying before, the Bears O-line is elite, man. Like, as much as Caleb doesn't look as amazing as everyone says he is, their O-line is just elite. They finally put it together. It just goes to show you, if you actually take the time to mold and create the offensive line that a lot of teams neglect, it seems like everything just comes together. It feels like I've never seen a team. You know what? I'm going to stop myself right there. I was going to say I've never seen a team with a great offensive line be really bad. And look at the New York Football Giants, because finally their offensive line this year is 11th PFF in the league, and they're still bad because of how horrific their defense is. But the Bears O-line is elite, and it's all coming together because they're making DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai look amazing. But once again, if you're joining me right now, just drop your start sits. Make sure you subscribe, follow, check us out on TikTok. We just hit 100, so thank you everyone for helping us out. But I mentioned earlier, we got a lot of we got a lot of things to get to, but I just want to say the Cleveland Browns are wasting in an all-time defense this year. And it's actually hilarious how it seems like the Browns are always the ones that have that, oh yeah, they're wasting this, they're wasting that. Myles Garrett has 18 sacks already. It's week 13. The record is 22 and a half. Like, that's some like Madden shit. Like, you play franchise and you're trying to break every record and like, oh, I'm going to have 22 and a half sacks by week 14. Like, that's insanity. Like, they did an interview with Trent Williams for today's game. They play the Niners, and they're like, have you lost sleep over having to block Myles Garrett this week? And he's like, yeah, honestly, a little bit. You mean Trent Williams, the freak Hall of Famer, left tackle, 6'5", that could block anything, is losing sleep over someone? That Trent Williams? That's scary. That's just how you know Myles Garrett has been on a whole other level this year. My defensive player of the year pick was Micah Parsons, but it's just crazy to me because I'd say Micah is second because he's having an insane year. But Myles Garrett is actually just on a whole nother level this year. He is unguardable. Maybe it's that Chloe Kim genes. I don't know. But Myles Garrett and Chloe Kim are about to have the most athletic kids in history. 6'5" snowboarding football players. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, so Jaguars right now are -5.5. -5.5. That's Timmy's pepper pick. My pepper pick is at 4 o'clock. Seahawks -10.5. So make sure you're tuned in. JCM is on pace for 2,000. He's looking to get 2,000, and I hope he does. Let's just keep it rolling today. Get another 100 yards, 100 points. Imagine 100 yards en route to your 2,000. I famously had Michael Thomas in 2019 when he broke that record, and it'd be very cool to have another player break another record for me. That'd be very, very fun. But we'll roll through the games today. I already mentioned the Niners and the Browns. I think the Niners easily should beat the Browns unless something catastrophic happens. I mean, Niners finally are starting to get healthy. But as of right now, so I'm going to get every game up. We'll be right back. And then we'll get right into it. All right? We'll be right back, everyone. All right, everyone, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. And so before I went on a quick break, I just had to blow my nose and use the bathroom really quick. Last night was fun. We had Timmy's birthday, my co-host, for those of you who don't know. And he's a little hungover today. He couldn't make it. It was his 28th birthday last night, and we went out with a bunch of our friends from our group chat. So our famous group chat is Couples Therapy Fantasy Football. That's all of our friends from high school. It's our fantasy league that's been going on since 2013. And we had one person from that league join our show, Sean. As you all know, he came on a couple weeks ago to talk about the Yankees playoffs, and he was a great guest. It was a fun time, so much fun. And our goal eventually is to get everyone from the group chat to come on once, at least once. And these next 3 weeks, we have a new person from the group chat coming on Valley Sports Pod, starting episode 18, 19, 20, all scheduled to come on and just talk sports and just talk anything. And they're probably not going to be live because we notice when we do the lives with me, Timmy, and Nick, the mic quality is just so shit. I don't know. I guess we use StreamYard. Shout out StreamYard. And it seems like when you have all these mics in the same room, it kind of like fucks with it too much. So we're not gonna do that. But yeah, starting next week, we're gonna have people come on, all of our friends eventually, and it's gonna be a fun time. I'm excited. And then our special December. It's probably not gonna be December 20. I'll try and upload it December 25th, but it's gonna be around that time when our good friend Peter from South Carolina comes home. So it's gonna be me, Timmy, and then our two friends from the chat on the show, and then probably Nick too. We're gonna try and find a way to have, because my audio interface only takes 4 mics, so we're gonna see if we're gonna get a 5th mic to get on there, because it'd be cool to have Nick talking too, but because everyone loves Nick. Who doesn't love Nick? But if we can have all 5 of us talking. So back in 10th grade, we took a class called broadcast journalism. 10th grade, shout out Mr. Malassi, and me, Timmy, this kid Peter and TJ, all from our fantasy football league, all took this class together. It was pretty much a class where you learned how to talk on the radio and you had your own show, and it was fun. So one day, the day one of that class, we have to put together what we're going to talk about and what's the name of our show. So it's the 4 of us. We're like, oh, yeah, obviously we're going to talk sports because we're big sports fans. We're in 10th grade. We're a bunch of idiots who don't know what we're doing. And our teacher comes over and he's like, oh, what are you guys going to talk about? Oh, no. He goes, so what's the name of your show going to be, guys? And we're like, you know what? We don't know yet. We're still figuring it out. And he goes, well, what are you guys talking about? And then Peter looks at him and he's like, sports, I guess. He goes, there's your name. Sports, I guess. So end of December will be the Sports, I Guess reunion from our 10th grade broadcast journalism class. Sports, I Guess will be reunited for one day only. Our stupid little podcast we had in 10th grade broadcast journalism, that to this day, I want these files. I need these files because honestly, like, we would record for that class was like an hour and a half because it was like a double period. So we'd spend the first half at recording, and then the second half we would edit. And then honestly, half the time we would just take Timmy's voice and just reverse it and die laughing, and he gets so mad. But lo and behold, Timmy the punching bag. But to this day, we always joke, we're like, oh my God, like, can I please like go to that school and get those files? I need to listen to that show one more time, because we had like 50 episodes, because we were doing this like every week for the entire like 2 semesters straight. Like, if we could ever find those files, it'd be the funniest shit ever. Like, but it's gonna be a fun reunion because, again, me, Peter, TJ, and Timmy have been all friends since like 2nd grade and beyond. So it's gonna be like a natural chemistry, all bouncing off each other. It's gonna be a fun time. And every guy that comes on, we've all known each other for now 15 plus years. So it's clear the chemistry is there, and it's always gonna be a fun time. And each person that comes on is going to have a new, different type of specialty they're going to want to talk about. And it's just going to be a fun time this December. All special guests for the month of December, and it's going to be so much fun. But if you're joining me, drop your fantasy questions in the comments. I'll answer them. Make sure you subscribe. Check us out on TikTok. Follow us. I'm happy to answer any fantasy questions. Week 13 is just upon us. We're an hour and 10 minutes away from week 13. 2 more weeks until the fantasy playoffs, everyone. 2 more weeks. Get those wins now. Get in the playoffs. I got 4 leagues right now, and I'm probably making the playoffs in all 4 of them. So gotta get into Valley Sports Pod if you want to know the know and know who not to draft and know who to draft before. Been doing this for a long time, 15 years now. I started fantasy football in 2010. That's how long I've been doing this nonsense. It's a faux sport. I love it, and I can't get enough of it. But again, drop your fantasy questions in the comments. I'll answer anything for you. Or any bets too. There are some bets I like today. I like the Seahawks minus 10.5. They're up to 11.5. I like that spread. Timmy's pepper pick this week is Jaguars minus 5.5. I have to be honest, I do like that one. The Titans aren't that great. Colts Texans minus 3. You know, that leg injury is very concerning, man. And if he gets hurt and they got to throw in Anthony Richardson, the Texans are going to eat that man alive. I'm kind of digging the Texans spread at +3. And don't quote me on that. Money Mills has been very solid. Very solid. Another spread that's very interesting to me is the Rams are minus 10 going to Carolina. That's interesting to me because the Panthers are the weirdest team in the NFL. The Panthers, did anyone know this, that the Panthers are 6-0 when they win the coin toss and 0-6 when they lose the coin toss? Is that not the weirdest phenomena you've ever seen? So can they announce after the coin toss immediately, go on Twitter and just say the Panthers have won the coin toss so everyone on earth can go bet their money line? That is hilarious to me. 0-6 when you lose a coin toss. So what is, I know it's obviously not something that's actually like going on. It's just a coincidence, but that's just a hilarious coincidence. Maybe they all forget how to play football if they lose that coin toss. They think it's over after that. But it's hilarious. The Sunday night game is a complete skip. I have no interest of watching tonight. Thank God I have work early tomorrow. I'm going to go to bed nice and early. I'm going to get a full night's rest because I will not be watching this Sunday night game. I'll watch the highlights in the morning. I'll rewatch the replay in the morning at work because I got to be up at 5. It's the Broncos and the Commanders. The Commanders, a team I was all over this year. I was so excited for their regression. I knew it. Last year was way too magical, and they didn't get better. They added Debo, and that's all they really did. Their team was already not that great to begin with, and the Commanders fans were flipping out, acting like they ran the NFC now. But lo and behold, the NFL is a cruel, cruel sport. It is the cruelest of all sports because of how year to year is. You can go from an 11-win team to a 2-win team like that. The snap of a finger, the Thanos snap. Shout out Infinity Gauntlet. Like, it's actually hilarious how quickly you can go from a contender to a pretender to trash instantly in this league. This league is so cruel to teams because of how year to year is. One injury and your season's over. It's not like NBA or NHL where you're stagnant for years. If you're a great team in hockey, you're going to be a great team for a little bit. If you're a great team in the NBA, you're going to be good for a little while. Or even the MLB. You got a team of players that are going to stay together. And if you're good most years, you're going to be good for a little bit. But the NFL is very cruel. And I was all over the Commanders' regression. It was very telling how their season went last year. It was a little too magical. And I'm the hugest Jaden Daniels fans, as you can see. Shout out LSU. But I don't know, man. It was something about that team that just didn't sit right with me. I just had a feeling everything went too perfect last year. And it all came crashing down the NFC Championship, and the fans were too okay with it. They were like, oh, we made it all the way to the NFC Championship, and they were acting like it was the Super Bowl. But if I make it all the way to the NFC Championship, I kind of want my team to win. I mean, then again, my team is 5-0 in the NFC Championship. Shout out to the New York Football Giants. But I don't know. I have no interest in watching that game tonight. Broncos most likely going to be 10-2. Me and Timmy were all over the Broncos being a powerhouse. Speaking of being all over things, pause. But me and Timmy are probably going to do our pre-season reactions. Me and Timmy had a bunch of predictions preseason on ValleySportsPod episode 1, and we're going to be reacting to our takes. And one of the takes was that the Broncos will be a powerhouse in the AFC. And I know a lot of people calling them pretenders, but a team that's that well coached with a defense like that, as long as Bo Nix doesn't do anything stupid, it's going to be a very tough out. They are so tough to beat, especially if the Broncos get the 1 seed, man. I can't see an AFC team beating them. They are so tough, man. Their defense is absolutely stacked. They're well coached. Sean Payton has done it before. Like there's not much else you could ask for. Maybe another wide receiver, but at the end of the day, you kind of wish they still had Dobbins, but Harvey looks solid. And again, it's just the coach aspect is such a huge thing to me. If you're well coached, everything just kind of falls into place. Like the Chargers for years, like when they had Brandon Staley, everyone knew they were nobodies. Like they were up 4 scores against the Jaguars in that wildcard game and completely blew it. And the second they got Harbaugh, the culture changed. Like last year, you can tell they had something going. And I don't know, that playoff game was a little weird against the Texans because Quentin Johnston still can't catch and they were fumbling, being stupid. But this year, they're second. The Broncos are just a force, which is why they're not in first. But I don't know. I love Denver. Big fan of them. Always been a fan of Sean Payton. I think he got screwed out of he should have 3 rings, honestly, because 2017 could have been their year, but that Minneapolis miracle shit happened. And then the very next year was their year, and the phantom pass interference happened, which I might add, that pass interference call that didn't happen for the Los Angeles Rams against the New Orleans Saints in 2018 is the worst call in sports history, or the worst non-call in sports history. The fact that it was in the NFC Championship, a play that literally ends the game, ends it. They would have been at the 3-yard line, tied with no time on the clock because the Rams couldn't stop the clock anymore. And it would have been the most textbook 1-2-3 extra point from 2007 type field goal in history. And the refs stole it from the Saints. Stole that from the Saints because it was clear and obvious they wanted New England versus Los Angeles in the Super Bowl. Pathetic. I think one day it'll come out that they made an audible that they wanted Los Angeles in that Super Bowl. I don't know. I think that was a little too much thrown out to the wayside. It's weird to me how a lot of people just brush that off as shit happens. It's like in Breaking Bad, like when she's like, I don't want to live in a house where killing people and robbing people is brushed off as shit happens. Like that should not just happen in a league that makes all this money with all these eyeballs watching. And if you're just joining me, I'm ranting about the 2018 NFC Championship. And if you're here, make sure you subscribe, follow, comment down below any fantasy football questions I'll ask for you. But I was just talking about the Broncos and Sean Payton, that I'm a big fan of his. And I'm just ranting that he should have at least 2 rings because that was the year in 2018. But I digress. That's welcome to Valley Sports Pod, where we go on interludes for no reason because I have a plethora of knowledge in my head that I can't stop talking about. It's actually hilarious. But I want to say one thing. I think the Giants-Patriots game is going to be a little bit more interesting than people think. I saw an interview the other day that Dexter Lawrence was smiling. I haven't seen him smile this entire season. And we all know why Dexter Lawrence is smiling is because Shane Bowen is gone. The worst signing since Joe Judge is gone from the Giants forever. So maybe we'll get the old Dexter Lawrence back. You know that promo from Vince McMahon, I want the old Stone Cold. I want the old Dexter Lawrence. I want the Dexter Lawrence that is one mean son of a bitch. I want him eating the center for the Patriots. I want him flatlining Drake May. Don't actually flatline him because I need him for the fantasy playoffs, but you know what I mean. I want the old Dexter Lawrence. That's what I want. I see him smiling that Shane Bowen is gone, and now we get the old Dexter Lawrence this week. So maybe I think the Giants defense will be a little fired up this week. I think it'll be closer than people think. Jackson Dart is back. Isaiah Hodgins is finally back on the team. Why did we ever get rid of Isaiah Hodgins? That's one question that seems to, again, be thrown at the wayside. We got rid of Hodgins for no reason. He emerged as a great receiver in 2022. I'm not going to say great, but solid. Solid is a great word. He was a solid receiver in 2022. And we kicked him to the side for Jalen Hyatt, who can only run straight. Jalen Hyatt, I don't want to ever see him on the field ever again. Just forever. Gone. Get rid of him. I don't want to ever see him in a Giants uniform again. I don't even care if he goes to another team and scores a touchdown. You were on this team for 3 years, and Jameis Winston has more receiving touchdowns than you, brother. Like, I don't know what to tell you there. Actually embarrassing. If we go into, listen, it's most likely looking like the Giants will have the second pick in the draft this year, which I would love so much. To have a top 3 pick and already have your quarterback is such a power move and so much of an advantage. It's like the easiest job in sports, man. You know, everyone in history wants a quarterback, and they're going to be foaming at the mouth for that pick. Foaming. Oh, Fernando Mendoza. I need him. I'll give you all these picks for that pick because I need him so bad. It's such an advantage. Make the right decision shown if you're still the GM at the time, or whoever the GM is. I don't give a flying shit who the GM is. Make the smart decisions. Trade down. Do not take a receiver. I don't think we need a receiver, honestly. As long as Neighbors comes back and he's normal, we'll have Neighbors, Wandell, and Hodgins. I like that 3. We don't need another receiver. I will take anything on defense, a linebacker or anything in the secondary. Thank you. Caleb Downs, come on down. Literally. That's what I will love. Caleb Downs from Ohio State in a Giants uniform. Take him, move down to 10. Take him at 10. Move on. Take a linebacker in the second round. Or honestly, I would love the tight end from Miami. That would be nice. He's looking good. I mean, I don't think he'll go in the second round, but he's been good this year. But yeah, honestly, for the first time in a while, off the top of my head right now, I'm thinking about it right now. When's the last time potentially the first and second overall picks have established future quarterbacks already that will probably be looking to trade down? I can't name the last time that's happened. I don't know. Yeah, if anyone knows the last time that's happened, comment down below. But yeah, the Giants and the Titans both have their quarterbacks of the future and might have the first and second picks. So we might be looking at 2 trades in the top 2, unless the Titans fall in love with someone and take them. Honestly, I can see the Titans trading down to like 5 or 6 and then taking like Jordan Tyson for Arizona or Carnell Tate from Ohio State. And for those of you who don't know, those are wide receivers because they need wide receivers. Because Calvin Ridley was a terrible experiment that I fell for. Cameron DK looks solid. He looks very solid. Looks great kick return. He's like on pace to break the all-purpose yards record, which is crazy. They need a running back. The Titans need a lot of things, honestly. I'm not going to front and be like, oh, they're on the cusp. Like they're like 2 years away. They need like a Detroit Lions type draft where they just hit home runs on every single player because they're just the Cam Wards. They're the Tennessee Cam Wards. They're horrible outside of him. They have like solid players here and there, like Spears. I like. He's okay. DK looks solid, like whatever. And then the rest is just like all shit. It's all shit. It's Cam Ward and the boys. Cam Ward and his trash bags. I don't know. But again, Giants, just don't be stupid. Just be smart. The Jets today are home against Atlanta. And my thing is, I see a lot of Jet fans are like, oh, you got to win these games, this and that. I don't know. I don't think the quarterback class is that strong this year. If you got a top 5 pick. I don't know. I can't see. I don't know. Fernando Mendoza is leading for the Heisman right now with 3,000 passing yards. He hasn't really impressed me that much. I mean, Indiana looks great, but I don't know. And then everyone's hyping up Arch Manning, and that's another guy I'm just like, whatever about. I think he's so overrated. Like, people give me shit about shit-talking Shedeur Sanders, but I'll admit when people aren't that good, I don't care what they are or where they come from. Arch Manning is another Nepo baby. I just don't think he's that good. He doesn't look that good. I think he should stay another year. If he goes to this draft, he's going to be a huge bust. So if somehow anyone from Texas or Arch Manning's watching, just stay another year. You need the reps. If you go to the draft, you are going to get eaten alive in New York. Like, you're going to go to one of the worst situations in the NFL and get completely killed. So just stay in Texas. Arch Manning, if you're smart, do another year. Honestly, if he stays next year, I think would be so helpful for him. Like, people don't realize how much sometimes staying that extra year, especially someone who's like Anthony Richardson is a great example of this. Anthony Richardson needed to stay an entire year. He went 5th overall and he had I think he had like 19 starts. Not even. I think he had like less than 19 starts. And that's another generational bust because if he doesn't play another snap for the Colts, that's going to go time. That's going to go down in the books. Close those books. One of the worst picks they've ever made. Holy hell. Like, Jones goes out there today, and God forbid, I don't want to say it's going to happen because I know, knock on wood, because knowing my luck, like, Jones goes out there and God forbid something bad happens to him and Richardson has to come in, you can put their season over. Honestly, if I'm a Jonathan Taylor fan and I see Anthony Richardson coming in, I'm going to be gritting my teeth. Grit my teeth for Anthony Richardson because that guy stinks. Or maybe he's good now. Maybe sitting behind Jones for the half the year is good. Who knows? Who knows? So, for those of you, if you're coming in, again, drop your fantasy football questions. Make sure you subscribe before you do so. Check out our TikTok. Just hit 533 on TikTok. Again, thank you everyone so much. Thank you. Thank you. I can't thank you all enough. It has been such a fun football season. We're growing faster than I ever thought imaginable. We're already at 105 subscribers. Keep hitting that sub button. Smash that like. Drop the comments. We're going to be here dropping the facts all year. We're not going anywhere. Once football season ends, we're not leaving. We're here to stay. VSP is going to the moon. We're here. All right? Me, Timmy, and Nick are going to take it everywhere. We're so excited. And you definitely don't want to miss when Yankee season comes back around because I'm at the point of no return. And I'm angry with this team. I'm tired of this team. And I'm excited. But I was on Twitter last night, shocker. And I was scrolling around and I saw people going crazy because as you know, I dabble sometimes into WWE and I like to check in because growing up, me and Timmy were huge wrestling fans. And we grew up in the era of like Batista and John Cena, like the early 2000s, late 2000s era. And then we like kind of gravitated away in like the early teens. And I still like to check in every now and then. I tune in at the Royal Rumble. I mean, who doesn't love the Royal Rumble? It's the most fun thing they got still. And if Mania is worth tuning into, I'll watch it. Like, honestly, in my entire life, the first WrestleMania I ever watched was WrestleMania 19 between Brock and Kurt Angle. And I watched every WrestleMania up until I think the one I finally skipped was the one after COVID. I think I want to say it was the one in Tampa with Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan. Yep. That was the first Mania I missed. And I think, COVID definitely like made everything just like, oh, I don't really care because it's just boring. But that was the first Mania I missed in what is that? Yeah, it's like 18 years. So I went 18 straight years of watching Mania every year, whether I'm not even tuning in weekly. I'll just watch it because it's WrestleMania. And I'm digressing here, but I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw this tweet. It says WrestleMania packages. And it went through each section it's first of all, it's back in Vegas this year. Shocker. But it showed East package of tickets for WrestleMania this year. And I saw these prices. So I look at Olivia and I'm like, oh, you're trying to go to Mania this year? Front row, it's not bad. It's not bad. If me and you want to go sit in the front row of WrestleMania, costs us $18,000. And she looked at me like I had 10 heads. I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. It's $18,000. $8,500 a ticket. $8,500 a ticket. If you have a family of 4 and you want to go sit in the nosebleeds, $3,500. $850 a ticket for the nosebleeds. Who's going to pay that? Are they insane in the head? Dude, I'm sorry. You can shit talk Vince McMahon all you want. I know if you're just joining me right now, this is the fantasy football stream. Drop your comments, subscribe, make sure. But I just had to go on this little mini rant because I saw it on Twitter about these WrestleMania prices. $800 for the nosebleeds. $850. So if I want to go to Vegas, that's probably what? $600 plane ticket per person. Okay. $600 plus my girlfriend's ticket, another $600. Okay. $1,200 down the drain. Okay. We buy our tickets for Mania, $850 each. That's another $1,700 down the drain. So already, before I even set foot in Las Vegas, I've spent $3,200 fucking dollars. And now I'm in Vegas, so I'm obviously going to gamble. So there's another potential $2,000 to $5,000 down the drain. God forbid if I win. So there's that. So then we get to the stadium. You're obviously going to want souvenirs or stuff like that. Maybe I'll even go to WrestleMania Access. Maybe I'll go meet John Cena for $800, shake his hand for 10 seconds and take a picture. So lo and behold, I haven't even set foot in the fucking stadium and I've spent $8,000 for nosebleeds. Then I get to my seat and the ring looks like this. Like, okay, I'm watching a ring across the fucking stadium because we're in the Vegas Raiders stadium, a football stadium, watching wrestling. So I sit down in my seat and I'm like, wow, man, I just spent $8,000 and I'm watching WrestleMania when I could have been at home for less money. Who's going to actually buy that? Who? What sane person? I know there's a lot of idiots out there that would pay for it. And honestly, more power to you, but I'm really sorry that you're getting scammed up the asshole. But that is just, I don't know how that's what it is. I think that's why they're not selling out as much anymore. It's because these ticket prices are just getting out of hand. It's honestly, that's an epidemic that's going around all sports. Ticket prices are really, really getting out of hand lately. Like, I remember back in like 2017 for the Yankees playoffs, for 4 of us, it was like $1.25 a person. For the ALCS against the Astros, I swear to God, I'll go back and find this stub if you don't believe me. 2017 Yankees Astros game 4 of the ALCS was $125. That's it. Now, if I remember we went to the ALDS and it was like we were looking at prices, it was like $350 a pop. That's insanity. $350. And we're not talking like the George, $350, but at least you're like sitting by third base. No, you're sitting up next to God. You're sitting up in the rafters. Like, sports tickets have gotten so out of hand. I think the worst about it is the Super Bowl. If you've seen these Super Bowl prices, how are fans supposed to afford to go to these games? How are real fans of the team supposed to go to these games? What is the point of having the Super Bowl if you're turning it into this celebrity fuck fest? It's the Super Bowl of the NFL, not this. I don't even know. They've turned it into this disgrace of a spectacle. I'm pretty sure the cheapest tickets for the Super Bowl were like $5,000 to sit up in the fucking rafters. Who's paying that? If the New York Giants went to the Super Bowl and you told me, hey, George, you want to go watch the Giants in the Super Bowl? It's $5,000. It's the last seat of the stadium. I tell you to go fuck yourself. Are you insane? $5,000? Who the hell is paying for that? God forbid I want to go to the stadium and have a nice beer and a hot dog. It'll cost me $5,550. That's insanity. Who's gonna do that? Someone needs to come into this comment section and let me know if you are a fan of your team and you paid money to go to this. Like, if you're a Chiefs fan and you paid to go to that Super Bowl, like you're not like a celebrity, you're not super, super rich. You're just like me, a normal person who makes decent money. Like, I'm not saying I'm freaking out of this world making money, but like I'm comfortable right now. But I'm not to the point where like I'm gonna throw out $5,000 just to go to the Super Bowl to sit in the last row, and that's not even including airfare, hotel, all that shit, rental car, or even Ubers back and forth. The beer is out of control, man. My girlfriend took me to a Jonas Brothers concert, and shout out to the Jonas Brothers because they put out a great show at UBS Arena, an amazing show they put on, and I get there. I'm like, oh, this is nice. I love UBS. I'm happy to be here, this and that. I'm like, oh, what do you want? She's like, oh, I'll take a Surfside. Big Surfside fans. Shout out Surfside. I go to the bartender, and she looks at me, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take 2 Surfsides. All of a sudden, she's like tapping this little fucking tablet, and all of a sudden, I see the number pop up on the tablet. $45. $45 for 2 fucking Surfsides. And it's not even the tall boy Surfside. It's the can Surfside. The cans. Are we insane? I was like, $45. I'm like, listen, I'm not Mr. Cheap over here, but like, so you're telling me I'm on a lightweight, so I need at least like 6 Surfsides to get even buzzed. Or no, not 6, like 4 Surfsides just to get a decent buzz. So you're telling me I have to spend $95 to get buzzed at a Jonas Brothers concert. $95. Fuck you. Fuck you. That's all I have to say. Fuck you. That's it. Fuck you. Whoever is the asshole who raised the prices of tickets and raised the prices of convenience, I guess, or stuff like that. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. That's all I have to say. And that's it. I don't understand. I feel like that's such an epidemic right now. Ticket prices are horrific. Listen, I love going to games. I love doing all stuff like that. This is the first year in a while I haven't been to a Giant game because I'm not spending money to go see them. Let me retract that. I'm not overspending to go see them. My friends went to the Giants Chargers game, which was probably a great game. It was Dart's first start and they won. And shout out my friend Brian, who I know he said not to say anything, but I'm going to say it. But I forgot who it was. He said his fiance's maybe father got him a jersey, or he might have got it himself. But his neighbor's jersey came in like the week before, and he didn't wear it because it was too hot. So lo and behold, he's a huge mush. And if he wore it that day, and while neighbors tore his ACL, I think he would have been thrown out of the stadium because he's a notorious mush. But I just thought that was a funny interlude. But yeah, they asked me to go to the game. So we used to take this thing called the Sweeney's bus. Well, not used to. We still do. And the Sweeney's bus, from what I remember back, we've been doing this since like 2016. It was like $60, and they drive you to the game. They it's unlimited beer, cooked burgers, dogs, sausages. They got pasta. They got all this great food. So you don't even have to have the shit MetLife food. You're out there. You're there from like 9 a.m. to 12:30 when you go in the stadium. Just unlimited beer, and that's $60 a person. All you got to do is buy your ticket. Now it's like $90 a person, which is I don't know. I guess maybe because the price of beers went up, and tickets for Giants Chargers, a team of the Giants that aren't good, just because their new rookie is starting, for 6 people, $150 per person. $150 per person for the shit Giants. Fuck you. That's all I have to say. Fuck you. I'm not paying that. Like, again, you're going to be like, oh, George, you're so cheap. Stop pocket watching this and that. No, it gets to a point when it's just outrageous. It just gets to a point. Like, are the Giants worth $150 for a ticket? Absolutely fucking not. Are the Eagles worth $150 for a ticket? Probably, because they're a great team. It's just, it's a joke. It really is. I think there are too many idiots in this world that pay for those prices. And I know I'm ranting too much about it. I should be talking about the sports in general, but again, I keep saying it like a broken record. This is an epidemic that needs to stop. I'm tired of prices of tickets just being way, way over what their market value is. These scalpers are just killing the industry because the resell is just a joke. All these companies like StubHub and SeatGeek, all that stuff, it's just such an epidemic. I don't know. Honestly, I say SeatGeek. SeatGeek is solid with their prices. I will say that. That's the one thing I will say, because at least they're trying to get you the best price possible and they're not trying to scam you. But I don't know, man. I just feel like it's just getting out of hand and it's a slippery slope. And it's companies like the WWE where you got the owner, Mark Shapiro of TKO, saying that, oh, all these years Vince was in charge. And the one thing he never did was maximize the dollar. And that's something that we're going to change. No, Vince didn't maximize the dollar because he cared about not pricing out families. And you fucking assholes are pricing out families. A family of 4 has to spend $3,500 just to get into the door for nosebleeds. $3,500. $3,500. It's $18,000 to sit ringside. Am I going to go in the match and get to pin John Cena for $17,000? Because that's what I should be able to do. Can I pin John Cena for the WWE Championship for $17,000? That's what I should be able to do. I'm not spending $17,000 just to sit ringside for a shitty event booked by triple shit. I don't want to watch Jey Uso yeet for 15 minutes. Who wants to watch that? Who's spending? Please let me know. If this video gets out there, I'm going to clip this just because I know. If you're a WWE fan and you're spending $17,000 to go to WrestleMania, explain why in the comments. Genuinely, I want to hear why you're spending all this money just to go watch a shitty event booked by an idiot. Talk about Triple H's ego is bigger than his nose. We thought Vince McMahon had the biggest ego of all time. Triple H's ego is somehow bigger, and now this guy is in charge of creative. Insanity. I don't know how I started talking about fantasy football, diluted into ticket prices, now diluting into Triple H's ego, but I digress. Week 13 is upon us. We are just 45 minutes, we are 35 minutes away from week 13 starting. And 1 o'clock games are honestly not looking good. I'm not going to lie to you. There's not a single 1 o'clock game I am dying to watch. I mean, I guess as of right now, the 1 o'clock games are the 49ers and the Browns, Jaguars at the Titans, Texans at the Colts, Saints at the Dolphins, Falcons at the Jets, Cardinals at the Bucks, Rams at the Panthers. That's our 1 o'clock slate today. And that's what happens when you put all the best teams on Black Friday and Thanksgiving, because your 1 o'clock games suffer. I would spend more to be there you go. And go to bed. That's all I have to say. Go to bed. The product is great. I saw what happened last night, and I don't know. I think it's self-sabotage. It's actually hilarious how stupid the decisions are, but I'm not going to go. That's a rant for another day. And more likely than not, me and Timmy and 2 of our other friends are going to do a Royal Rumble stream. So for those of you who have some interest in today's product and want to listen to us rant, 2 guys from growing up in the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression who barely watch, outside looking in eyes, and want to tune into that and talk with us, that's some that you could be interested in. It'd be fun. I'm excited because, again, somehow, I don't know, every year I get excited for the Royal Rumble because it's just such a cool concept, and they ruin it all the time. And again, I keep gravitating towards WWE because this 1 o'clock slate is just so shit. It's garbage. Again, the only interesting game is the Texans and Colts because it's a huge divisional game, but Daniel Jones might be playing on one leg. And shout out to my girlfriend who picked them to win the Super Bowl in her bet, but I did tell her to cash out because I did not like how Jones's leg looked. I said, take your $80 and run. She did. I think it's 15 to win like 3,000, and her cash out's like $100 right now. Take your money and run. I'm telling you right now, that video of Jones is very concerning. And I don't know. I already have them as frauds and first round exits. And this just fast-tracked that shit. I don't know. A Texans win today would make that division very, very interesting. Man, that Texans defense is so good too. Oh, we're talking this year is actually so interesting to me because we have 3 defenses that are like all-time great defenses in the Texans, the Browns, and the Broncos. And man, if that Broncos defense actually had a competent offense, oh man, the things they would do. They would actually be so solid. Like, this is the craziest thing. Can you imagine? Like, let's pretend Joe Burrow stayed healthy all year. Can you imagine if Joe Burrow had this Browns defense at his helm? They would never lose. It'd be hilarious. Their offense is so insane. Can you imagine if the Giants had this Browns defense, they would be leading the NFC East. I'm not even joking. I'm not joking. They had a 10-point lead in like 6 of their games and lost all of them. If the Giants had this Browns defense, they would have at least 8 wins right now. And that is not crazy to say. If you think that's crazy to say, then you're an actual idiot and you don't watch the games. I watch all the Giant games, and I'll tell you right now, if they had the Browns, Texans, or Broncos defense at their helm, they would have at least 8 wins. Because for once in my entire life, the offense hasn't been the problem. I've been clamoring for years. I want a good offense. And I finally got a good offense, but the defense is terrible. Defense is terrible. And the only person that doesn't make me want to vomit profusely when I see their name is Brian Burns. And you would think Dexter Lawrence would not be the problem, and he's been non-existent. Thibodeau is still shit. I don't care what anyone says. He had one good year. He's slowly becoming a bust, and the only reason is because we took him 4th overall or 5th overall, whatever it was. He's nowhere near as bad as Evan Neal because Evan Neal is just unplayable. But Thibodeau is getting to the point of being useless on a D line that has Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Abdul Carter. This guy should be feasting. Coming out of Oregon, this guy was the most hyped defensive end that year. And Giants took a huge risk on him because he had some problems, stuff like that. And it's not paying off. You know what's funny? That year, they went with the risky pick in Thibodeau, and then they went with the safe pick in Evan Neal because, you know what? It's another thing that I rant about every week. Is it really scheme that makes a player better? I feel like there are some players that are good anywhere they go. Lo and behold, Tom Brady. Tom Brady is proven no matter what team he goes to because he did it twice. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, Belichick, Carberry, this and that. No, I don't care. Brady left the Patriots to go to the Bucs and won the Super Bowl the next year. That doesn't happen. That's not normal. That's not a normal thing. Okay? So let me continue with my point. Some players are just good to be elite anywhere they go. So, like, I'll give you an example. A player like Justin Jefferson is going to be an all-time great receiver no matter where he goes because he's just that good. Or Devontae Adams. That's a great example because he's done it already. Devontae Adams has proven time and time again, no matter what team you put him on, he is not an Aaron Rodgers merchant. He is just an all-time great receiver, will be in the Hall of Fame one day, and honestly probably go down as one of the 15 greatest receivers to ever play. This guy has been elite since 2018, and he has not looked back since. And he's been on now 4 teams. I forgot the Jets. He left the Packers to go to the Raiders. Everyone was questioning it. Was a top 3 receiver his first year. Then Derek Carr was gone, injured, and he fell off a little bit. Hated his fucking life and left for the greener passages of the Jets land for his old buddy and Aaron Rodgers. Still produced, still did well, and the Jets were still shit. And now he left the Jets to go talk about smartest decision he ever made of his life. He looked around the league and he was like, what team should I go to? I'm in my early 30s. I'm still great, and I want to win now. So what team should I go to? Oh, I'll go to the Rams. I'll go next to Puka Nacua, who's already unguardable. They have a great defense. They have the best coach in football. Talk about genius. Like, genius move. Smartest thing he's ever done. Because now he's just insane there. How are you going to guard him and Puka Nacua? I said this from day one in August. That's why they're my Super Bowl pick. It's so easy. A toddler with crayons could have written it better. Like, hilarious. But again, I keep diluting, but that's the nature of the beast. He's one of those players that could be good anywhere he goes. But some players are just heavily dependent on schemes, and they're only good because of the system they're in. And I don't know, man. I feel like a great example. I keep bringing this guy up every single year. Excuse me, every single year, every single week. Every single week, I'm talking about Emmanuel Forbes. He was a first-round pick for the Commanders a couple of years ago. Huge bust, terrible. Now he joins the Rams, and all of a sudden he's been elite all year. And I think that's an example of a player where the scheme helped him. I think also because Sean McVay is just a genius. But Evan Neal, maybe he is this great player that we can't see as great because of how shit the Giants are at coaching. So a guy at Alabama that had one holding his entire collegiate career in 3 years, one holding call. He was locked down at Bama, who for all those years were in the playoffs, in the semifinals, playing against elite talent in Georgia, Ohio State, all these Notre Dame, all these elite teams. And the Giants took him because he was the safest pick that year. He was a left tackle that you didn't have to worry about. Excuse me. He wasn't even a tackle. He was a guard, excuse me, that you didn't have to worry about. But I think the problem was moving him to right tackle and changing his position, because if you even ask any former offensive lineman, they hammer how big of a change in position it is. Now, I want to double check. Just want to make sure. I'm pretty sure Evan Neal was a guard. Okay, so he was a left guard his first year, and then he was a right tackle in 2020. So yeah, there you go. And then 15 the left tackle in 2020. So yeah, or 2021, excuse me. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the Giant scheme is just so shit. But again, I can see is maybe Evan Neal would be better if he was on a team like the Rams, because again, it's just the coaching. Like Emmanuel Forbes is such a great comparison. I love using him because it's just so perfect. This guy who was a first-round pick that everyone hated. The Commander fans cursed his name for months. Him and Lattimore. They called Marshawn Lattimore, who his entire career has been shut down with the Saints. They're calling him Marshawn Scortimore. Like, hilarious to me. You can go to one team and have some bad weeks, and the entire fan base just hates you for life. But I don't know. I think the Giants, what they need to do next year, and I keep harping on it every single week. Running a podcast has become one thing. I feel like a broken record. I feel like I'm saying the same 6 things every single episode, and it's just something I have to harp on because it seems to me like these teams can't get it through their thick heads. Just go out and hire a coach that actually wins. Don't go out and find the next Sean McVay or Kevin O'Connell or Shane Steichen. Go out and go and get the guy that's already won. I'm not even joking. If the Ravens fire John Harbaugh, I'll take him, because we all know his history. He's a great system builder, and he's won. Like, granted, he's been the reason they can't win with Lamar, but maybe they just need a change of scenery. Sometimes you get stuck in the same spot and you get so stuck in your ways that it's just not going to work. But I shit talked Mike Tomlin earlier. I would take him on the Giants. He's won. And I think he's stuck in a system where I think the Steelers aren't as great as drafters as they've been over the years. And their talent has been nowhere near what they should be nowadays. Like, again, a broken record. They traded George Pickens away for a bag of donuts, and he's a top 5 receiver in the league this year. They're signing old man Aaron Rodgers just to save Mike Tomlin's 9-win, 10-win streak or whatever it is, over 500 streak. But just give me someone who's won. My number one, I know it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen, but And we're 25 minutes away from week 13. Any start sits, drop them in the comments below. At 12:45, I will be doing my lineup for DraftKings on the stream. I'm going to try and get my phone on the screen so we can do it. And this DraftKings lineup, it's for anyone who's never done it before. This league is $1,250 per person. It's a big money league. It's like 40 guys in it. And every week you get 50 grand and you have to make a lineup with the money. So like a player like Jonathan Taylor is going to be worth like 9,500. So you got to be smart with who you pick, stuff like that. It's very fun. It's very fun. You don't have to worry. I mean, me personally, I joke and say you don't have to worry about injuries, but I do, because 4 times this year I've had someone get hurt in DraftKings and it's been very frustrating. But because if someone gets hurt in that thing, you're pretty much screwed. Because like last week I dropped 206 because I had Gibbs and a couple other big names, and I came in third. I scored 206 and came in third. It's fun. It's crazy. And I think that's like sometimes better than like a normal league, especially a league that's so toxic like mine. But, you know, I digress again. But yeah, I keep diluting to other things, but I think the number one person the Giants should get is John Gruden. And I know it's never going to happen. Oh my God, the things I'd do to get John Gruden in New York. He would be such a game changer for this team. Install that winning attitude, that winning culture that some they're missing. Like, it's so clear how deflated the defense was when they were under Shane Bowen. Like, again, I emphasized earlier that Dexter Lawrence was smiling for the first time this year, and that maybe he might be a little bit more motivated. I feel like it's impossible to not be motivated to win under John Gruden. And I don't know. I'd do anything to get him on this team. I'd eat a Carolina Reaper, even though I didn't have to, just to get this man on the football Giants. John Gruden, if you're somehow watching, I'll do anything to get you on this team. I don't care. I want you coaching the Giants, and I think you can get your second Super Bowl with the Giants. I think this guy will, even though Jackson Dart looks unlocked, I think he'll unlock his potential to new heights we can't even imagine. I don't know. I feel like when he's hyped about Jackson Dart because he glazes him every single week on Barstool. If he's hyped about a guy, he knows what he's doing. Like, this man was responsible for the early Brett Favre years when he was there in Green Bay. Talk about an all-time coaching staff. They had Andy Reid and John Gruden there with Brett Favre in the mid-90s. Fun fact for those of you who didn't know. Like, that's crazy. That's a stack. With stacked coaching staff. Like, we're talking like throwback to when the Washington Redskins, throwback there. That was when they were Washington Redskins. When the Redskins had Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and I'm thinking, I've forgotten who the third one was, but they had a stacked coaching staff. Man. And then that just went down the drain. Sean McVay went on to, again, another coach I bring up that was a coordinator that became an elite coach is Shanahan. Like, we're not going to find the next Shanahan or the next McVay or the next O'Connell. Like, just get an established coach. The Jets, I'm not going to tell you to get an established coach because I kind of like Aaron Glenn, and I think you might have found something because it seems like the players buy into his winning attitude. Everyone except Breece Hall, but I don't know. I don't know why I think so. This brings me to my next point, and I think so. I'm big on conspiracies, and I think so. I originally called Rico Dowdle an industry plant as a joke because I was playing him in fantasy, but I'll admit that he is a very good running back and he's solid. And I've noticed these last few weeks, they've been using him less and giving it to Chuba more. And I don't know. I have a weird feeling that it's been intentional because I think the Panthers don't want his value to go down, which is crazy to say, but in a league today where the owners are so greedy and so over money and don't want to spend all this shit, I wouldn't doubt it. It happens all the time. And like, look at the Cowboys. Even though they're still giving it to Williams a lot, but they got the backups playing a little bit more. Like, the backup scored last week. And it's clear that Williams is on his 1-year deal. He's on a prove-it deal. And he's going to make a lot of money in the offseason. But the Cowboys aren't giving it to him as much lately. Maybe to boost his value down. It seems like we're in this new age of if running backs aren't already on contract, they're not pushed as much, I guess the word is. Like a guy like Rico Dowdle was top 3 in rushing, and he's dropped out of the top 3 because of how little usage he's gotten over the last few weeks. And I feel like that's such a slimy, just nefarious way to do business, and it's fucked up. I don't know. Again, comment down below if you agree with me there that if Rico Dowdle is being used less to lessen his value. I think it's gross. I don't know. I think that's a little slimy. I could see the owner just bringing in the coach and being like, listen, we have Rico here. We think he's a great asset, and I don't want him used as much anymore because I want to get him for cheap in the offseason. I want to sign him to a couple of years, and I don't want his value to be as high as a McCaffrey or a Bijan or something like that, because he was playing like one, and we want him for cheaper here because we think he's better than Chuba, but we want to put Chuba out there more so we can make his value go down. And if that ever got out, and if that was true, that's such a shit way to do business and slimy, and it's disgusting. It reminds me of another history lesson for everyone here, because, I have all these stupid things in my mind that just pop up. Back in 1919, the famous Chicago White Sox, called the Black Sox, threw the World Series to make some money on gambling. And there was a famous pitcher, lefty. I forgot his last name because, again, the famous movie 8 Men Out. And, well, so who would benefit though? Rico signed somewhere else. So my conspiracy is that the Panthers want him, but they want him at a lesser value. So if they give him less of the carries, other teams will see his stats at the end of the year and be like, oh, he's not worth as much as we think he is. So then maybe he'll come back to the Panthers and be like, oh, okay, I'll take your low ball deal. But again, it's a conspiracy, but it's weird to me why they're not featuring him as an 80-20 type split, because it seemed like last week against the Niners, every time he got the ball, they were moving it like crazy. Or am I crazy to say that? Every time he got the ball last week, they were getting at least 8 to 10 yards. So I just find it weird that all of a sudden they don't want to feature him. Like, there were the games where he was getting 30 fantasy points. He was getting like 35 touches. You have him on a 1-year deal. Just give him the 35 touches. What's the point? It's the only reason you wouldn't give him those 35 touches is if you want him next year and you want him cheaper. And again, that's a fucking disgrace if that's the case. But again, my story was that there was a pitcher who back then they made dirt back then. It was 1919. They were probably they had to have other jobs. Like, they had to work in the freaking factories, or they had to go pound rocks. Baseball wasn't the main job. So they had incentives. You get 20 wins, you get an extra $2,000. You get 100 strikeouts, you get an extra $5,000. There's a famous scene in the movie of 8 Men Out, and it's based off of a true story where Lefty goes in the office and he talks to the owner, and he's like, hey, listen, like, my incentive to get 20 wins was I have 19 wins and the season's over, and I should have 20 wins because you intentionally sat me for the entire month of August. I missed 5 starts, and I definitely would have got one of those wins, and I think I should be paid my $2,000 incentive. He goes, well, the contract says that it's 20 wins is 20 wins, and you didn't get it. Sorry, Lefty. He goes, yeah, but you sat me on purpose. It's like I was ready to go. I was healthy, and you guys just didn't let me play because I was going to get my 20th win. And it's just like, shit like that is so slimy. And that little stuff like that is what led to them throwing the World Series. So I could see something like that actually happen. But it's a little too under. This one is a little too under the radar because I don't think he has any incentives. But it's like, again, it's something like me. I noticed those little things because you can't be top 3 in rushing, getting all these touches, and all of a sudden just take all of his touches away, and your team is doing worse because of it. Because, like, do you want to win, or do you want to spend money? It's just like, what are we trying to do here? As we're 15 minutes away from week 13, and I'm going to attempt to get this on the screen right now. What's going on, Johnny? Welcome. Bucky Irving versus BTJ as a flex PPR. So I ranted earlier today about Bucky Irving. I am not a fan of what's happening. They're forcing Baker in with a bad injury, and Bucky's coming back. We don't know what his workload is going to be. They trust Sean Tucker and Rachaad White a lot. I think it's going to be a 3-way split. At best, it's going to be scary because I don't know, you're going to need a lucky touchdown, and I feel like BTJ coming off the injury, I think he'll be a little bit of a safer pick, but I'm going to have to say Brian Thomas, unfortunately. Even though I'm not a big fan of Brian Thomas today, I just feel like he's at least their number one guy. But with Bucky, we don't know what they're going to do. For all we know, he's going to get 8 carries, and then Sean Tucker and Rachaad White are going to get 10 carries. So I'm not a fan of a team that trusts 2 other running backs. And 2 other running backs who, might I add, would be starters on most teams. And it's not crazy to say. But I would go with Brian Thomas today. Thanks for the comment. Make sure you subscribe. Check us out on TikTok. Follow us. But again, we're almost at the 1 o'clock game, so I'm going to try and get this on the screen right now. And stay tuned. You know what? I could probably do another. Right. For those of you joining, I'm trying to get my DraftKings on the screen to do my lineup really quick. And I know you're here, Fatal, so maybe you can help me out. There we go. Log in. Just give me 1 second. I hope it's the right email. No, it's not letting me. What the hell? All right. I got to figure this out another time. So as of right now, I'm going to try. I'm just going to show my phone. This is going to be so stupid, but we'll go from there. For those of you joining, I'm trying to get my DraftKings lineup on the screen before 1 o'clock, my big money DraftKings league. Drop your start sits in the comments. I'll try and answer all of them last minute. Make sure you subscribe before you do so. Follow us on TikTok. Check us out, ValleySportsPod. So you can't even see that. See, that's awful. Okay. So you know what? I'll write it out. Why not? Maybe that'll work. Right now we got Brissett at QB. We got Devin Neal at running back 1. We got Kyron at running back 2. We got Waddle at wide receiver 1. We got Higgins at wide receiver 2. We got DK at wide receiver 3. We got Trey McBride at tight end. We got Vidal at flex and Seattle defense. So that's the lineup right now. So let me know. Comment down below if you want any changes. But that's what I got so far. I'm still looking into it and figuring it out. And this league, you're only allowed to use players from 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So, which is stupid, but whatever. I asked the guy. It's funny. It's my dad's friend, so it's just a bunch of unks. And I'm like, so why is it only guys from 1 o'clock? He's like, oh, because the whole lineup locks if we do Thursday night games included. And I'm like, I don't think that's true, but I guess. So then you have to have your whole lineup ready by Thursday. Yeah. You got time. We got 10 minutes. Yeah, this lineup would leave me with $100 left over. But the only one I'm 50-50 about is DK, but it's like all the guys in that area are shit. And I don't know. I feel like Cam Ward trusts him. Is it 50K? Yeah. It's 50,000. And I kind of like I'm between Kyron and ETN as well. And I don't know. I feel like that Carolina game is going to get out of hand. I feel like the Rams are going to kill them. And I feel like Kyron is going to be such a benefactor from that. Even though Stafford's trying to win his fucking MVP and he's being gay and throwing it at the 1 yard line, I still feel like. I also, a hot take this week, I'm starting Isaiah Hodgins in my second flex because T. Higgins will be out with a concussion in my 12-man league. So in that league, I'm currently, I think, 8-4. And I'm fighting for the bye week. I need to win this week and then win next week, and I get the bye. And I'm starting Isaiah Hodgins tomorrow night in my second flex against my brother. Should be an interesting matchup. We both had players on Thanksgiving. He had Dak, Henry, and Jacobs, and I had Gibbs. So it's gonna. I'm projected to win by 5, but again, projections don't mean shit. Go ETN, Titans suck. Yeah, I mean Panthers' run defense is shit too. I feel like ETN's numbers are so limited. I feel like Kyron has like 30-point potential. That's why I like Kyron. I feel like ETN's cap has been like 20, 25. I haven't, because they like that kid Tootin. Yeah, what's the most he's gotten? Yeah, the most he's gotten is 22. Devin Neal, I like a lot today, though. And Higgins is so good. That was a great pick for the Texans. I'm not gonna lie. You guys have made some good decisions. You guys just got to build an offensive line, and you're easily a top 3 team in the league. If you guys actually had an offensive line, there would be only 4 teams I'd like instead of the Texans. Like I would pick you guys honestly to be in the AFC Championship if your offensive line was actually decent. Like if you guys got like the Giants offensive line because somehow we're 11th in the league, you guys would be a Super Bowl contender. As we're 7 minutes away from week 13, drop your fantasy questions in the comments. Subscribe, follow us on TikTok. We're almost done. As I'm trying to get this lineup ready, I'll have this. Honestly, I'm going to be off next month, Sunday morning, so I'll probably do this again. And I'll be off the week after, so I'll probably do this for the next 2 Sundays. And I'm going to figure out how to get the DraftKings on the screen so we can make this lineup together next time. I'll have it blank, so then we'll all do it together. It'll be fun, and then we can just all run. I'll enter it into a big money league pool too, also instead of just mine. But yeah, I think, or I can honestly, I have Vidal and I could get Bowers instead of Vidal, but I don't know. I don't know. I just love how they have Kamara there still, even though he's injured. We're just hitting 12:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're 5 minutes away from week 13. Drop those fantasy football questions in the comments. I'll answer all of them. Even for next week, if you find this video and watch the whole thing, thank you so much. Drop any questions in the actual comments, and I'll answer anything. I'm easy. I'm not going to just ignore comments. Just make sure you subscribe. That's all I ask. That's all we ask. We're trying to grow, and we're already at 105 thanks to all of you. And we're growing so fast, and we're so excited as week 13 is already upon us, man. It feels like just yesterday we just started this podcast. The idea came a thought in April. It took me about 2-3 months to set up. We We did a couple prep episodes that are in the archive, stuff like that, just to get used to talking on the mic. I went away to Europe, came back, locked in, and we have been going steady since that day on August 23rd. So we're excited. But thank you, everyone, for coming. Valley Sports episode 18 will be out this coming week. We're recording probably Wednesday or Thursday. Our special guests from our friend group will be there. And this is a good one. You're not going to want to miss this one. It's not going to be live, but it's going to be a great episode. We're going to have a fun time. This guy is a great dude, one of my best friends, known him forever. We're going to have a fun episode. And that's going to be the episode starting next week for all of December. All special guests and Christmas. You don't want to miss the Sports I Guess reunion episode. That's going to be a fun one. That's the one episode that you're not going to want to miss as well. So that being said, until next time, and there will be that next time, this is George from ValleySportsPod giving you 189 Dive. That's a wrap. Live stream finished. Week 13 on the horizon. About to start. 3 minutes away. That's it. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. Just make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, subscribe on YouTube. Smash that subscribe button. And Timmy's not here. Nick's not here to flip that switch, so I'm going to flip that switch. So thank you, everyone. Take care. Let's go, Giants.